Hey everybody, welcome to Rebel Junk. My name is Erin. Today's unloved and unwanted junk comes to us from the 5 steps of reselling. Okay, so I am totally laughing at myself on this one, but let's just move ahead. The 5 steps of reselling are sourcing, photographing, listing, income, and shipping. Okay, let's get started. I have a few minute video of some sourcing that my mom and I recently did. We had the opportunity to go into some thrift stores that we don't get to often because they're farther away. But I had some other errands to run in the area, so we stopped at a few. There's some interesting bits in here because as we were going along, I was kind of trying to help my mom. And so in the process, I think it's going to help you. But you're also going to see some mistakes that I made that hopefully you won't do in the future after seeing this. So let's take a look at that.
Oh yeah, they have the $1 scarves and stuff. We went to 4 stores and looked at a ton of things. Well, the fixes are all $4. It's probably just the tag from the store. I really should have done a better job at looking at the comps on this next bag, and I should have bought it. It was in really good condition and probably would have sold for about $30.
It's got like all kinds of pockets and zippers.
What are the comps show?
Not a lot.
Did you search for green?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's what you need to look because that's what's different about it. Another thing that I should have bought, it comped out around $30 also, and hats there are only $1. Okay, you're gonna see one more item I should have bought. I think that my judgment was a little off just because I have so much inventory already. I was looking for very specific items that I was familiar with. Over by the bin was gonna like take me down to get to that stuff.
Oh no.
Okay, almost anything Hello Kitty licensed products will sell really well, but this one had some condition issues. I figure if people are still buying old typewriters, they're still buying typewriter paper. So for $2, I took a chance on this box. It's heavy, probably is going to have to ship UPS or FedEx. We might need a cart.
That was our sourcing trip to 4 different stores. Obviously, I condensed it way down just so you could see a few items that we picked up. I will show you the rest of the items that we got there. The box of typewriter paper is still in the van, but I'll show you everything else. So here's the bag that I picked up while we were out. This was in the video. That's for me. I'm keeping that. But I did get a Little Tykes mini coupe, and this is the one that goes to the dollhouse, the Little Tykes dollhouse, the Build-A-Bear soccer cleats. So there's those. I did get another pair of Build-A-Bear shoes. I found a small Coach wristlet, so I was kind of surprised it was only $1. It says Magic Features Sound, but I haven't tried it yet. Glass fruit ornaments. So they're vintage in the box. They are used. So these are the Zoe Unicase alphabet set. They're real thin little dies where you can cut paper out into the different letters and numbers. Build-A-Bear shoes. These are the little tennis shoes. Thought those were cute. Build-A-Bear accessories tend to do pretty well. This is a little Toomey bag from Delta Airlines. And this one comped out at about $15 and it only cost me $1, so that was fine. A Relic brand wallet. The metallic colored wallets have been doing really well for me. This one's sort of a bronzish, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm gonna have to figure that out though because I have to put it in the listing, right? Candle holder. It does have a brand inside and I did not look it up. I paid 99 cents for that, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's a set of Yankee Candle car jars. These were $1.99 a piece. So there's the little car jar and then 2 different scents to go with it. I'm gonna lot those all up together. That was all of the sourcing that we did on this particular day. Okay, after you find your items and you get them home, you're going to need to photograph them before you can put them up for sale. I have a short demo of how I do my photographing. But just keep in mind that yes, I have a white background and that's what I prefer. However, you can photograph on any background. And even if you photograph on a background that's not solid and you want a white background, there are tons of free apps for editing your photos. So take a look here at what I did. I 100% use my phone to photograph items for listing. As you can see with this item here, I'm going to go ahead and pop up that little 3D piece and take a picture of that detail. If you have little things like that on your item where a detailed picture would help to sell it, make sure that you do that extra photograph. Obviously, it only takes just a second. So I'm trying to get all the angles on this one. It is a flat cardboard, except for that one pop-up piece. And typically too, I will take a zoom in picture of any brand names that are on there and measurements. Always take a picture with measurements or post measurements, no matter what the item is. That is the most asked question I get. And so I will put a picture of measurements or a listing of measurements with every item. This is another example of a smaller 2D item. You know, it's flat, but I am giving a detailed picture there of some of the stickers. I am going to show you also what I do for more three-dimensional items. These flat paper ones are super fast and quick to photograph a bunch all at once. I tend to stockpile photos on my phone, and then that way when I have a chance to list, I can just open the app and list at times, you know, maybe when my family is watching a TV program that I'm not necessarily interested, doctor's appointments, anywhere that I have to be sitting still and waiting. When it comes to 3D items, just make sure you're getting a picture of 6 different sides. So 4 sides, a top and a bottom, and then also your measurements with that. Cats do not make very good backdrops for your photo. Make sure on a 3D object that you have a picture of height, length, and width. You're going to want all 3 of those measurements for the pictures, for the listing. A lot of times we remember to take photographs at the bottom because it could have a name brand sticker or other information about the product, but don't forget to get a picture of the top too from overhead. I started out using 2 pieces of poster board, one that went in the back and one that laid flat on the table, and honestly that worked just fine. I had some extra lights that were just desk lamps, so you can make it work on a very small budget. Because the Dollar Tree doesn't even charge $1 for those poster boards. I think they were 69 cents each. So after you've photographed all of your items and you need to start listing them, then you're going to choose a platform that you want to sell on. And I do have a previous video for that, and I will link that down below in the description. You need a picture and you need a description. So make sure whatever platform you use, that you use all the spaces that they give you in the title and add more in the description if there's more to add. So you always want to keep in mind things like color, shape, size, brand, characters, you know, all those spaces and questions that they give you on eBay. If you can't figure out what to say about your item, look at those suggested suggested specific that they give you, and that might help to give you an idea of what you should be saying about your item in your description. But definitely point out if there's anything different. Make sure in some form you describe the condition of the item. If it has any flaws, make sure that those are noted. I'm going to do a brief screen video here so that you can see what it looks like to list an item on eBay.
Okay, this is showing the app for eBay on an iPhone. You're going to select selling and then go to list an item. This is where you're going to start inserting your title using as many words and descriptions as you can. Click over to pre-owned depending on if your item is new or not, and then you're going to add the plus button for photos. You can use up to 12 photos, use as many as you can. Just like with the description, the more pictures the better. eBay gives you the option to remove your background, so I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. Select the picture that you want to use. It's going to ask you at the bottom what do you want to do. You want to frame it, crop the picture down, click continue. So my background there was white, but it shows up gray. There's a little spot still at the bottom of the background, and you're all set after you click apply. Now you want to double check your title to see if there's any more spaces you can use. Go into your description. This wallet in particular had some flaws that I'm going to make a note of. So there's my description of the discoloration. You want to make sure your item is in the right category. eBay will auto-generate those for you, but you still need to check them and make sure it's the one that you want. You need to go down to pricing. It automatically defaults to auction. If you want to buy it now price, you need to put that in now. I looked up prices earlier on comparable items, so I knew what I wanted to list this at. Check your delivery, enter the weight and size of your package. So again, I already had a good idea of what this item was going to weigh with the packaging. And then you're just going to double check your preferences, and my item is going to list for free. eBay does give some sellers free listings, and that was a success.
So our next step in reselling is income. So you have to forgive me. I needed a word that started with a vowel, and typically the word that I would have used there is sales, but it didn't make a very fun word. So I put an I for income in there so that we had the word splish so you could remember it. Anyhow, making sales. So I'm going to go over some sales that I had this week so you can see some things that recently sold and how much they're selling for and where they sold. So my sales this week were on Mercari and eBay. So let's start with sales on eBay. This first one was a set of textbooks on CD, and they sold for $25. That was a best offer that somebody sent to me that I accepted. They also asked me to upgrade the shipping from media mail to priority, and if they were going to pay for that. I sold this set of CDs for $25 plus shipping. My next sale was a set of bowls, and I don't know exactly how to pronounce the name, but it looks like Saroa. I picked up a large box of these dishes for $20 at a rummage sale. I had looked them up there and they had pretty good sold comps. So these 6 bowls sold for $47 plus shipping. And I still have more of the bowls, salad plates, bread plates, and dinner plates to sell. So I'm definitely in the profit on these. This next one was just kind of a random item that I threw in my pile at an estate sale. And actually that video is a couple videos back, but it's another one of those things that I debated whether or not to list it. And I had one of these in my last week's What Sold video. And so anyhow, I put it up for sale. It was in German. I had to Google Translate to even figure out what it said on there. It was a department store sales receipt book, still in the package with a little pencil. Somebody bought it for $9.99 plus shipping. Up next is a t-shirt that I've had for quite a while. This I think is probably one of the first t-shirts that I purchased to resell, and it sold for $9.04 plus shipping. And there you can see one of the examples of having the flooring in the background. I was taking pictures actually on my living room floor for a while. Up next is a pair of Daniel slippers, and these were a brown suede in a size 8. They were in really good condition, and they sold for $16.60 plus shipping. So you guys know I love selling wallets. Here's another example. I picked this one up for $1 at my local Goodwill. It's a Steve & Joseph Kids Sport wallet. Sold for $12.99 plus shipping. shipping. Up next is another piece of the Port Marion dishes that I've been selling, so we're in the profit on these. This is a small teacup saucer. It's about 6 inches across. Up next is another piece of the Port Marion dishes. These are tea kettle shaped tea plates. So you take your tea bag out and this is the little plate that you would set it on. It was a set of 4 that sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Next is a vase that came in a lot, and I really thought I priced it high and was gonna end up with an offer, but somebody just bought it outright. And so it was a vintage ruby red pressed glass vase, and it had embossed daisies on it. It actually was really pretty, and it sold for $14.70 plus shipping. This next piece I did not find very attractive, but I noticed that they were selling well, so I went ahead and put it out there. It was a antique ring plate trinket dish. It had embossed roses on it, and it was in the shape of a leaf. It had very small remnants of what used to be gold leaf around the edges, and to me those spots look dirty, so I made sure to mention in the description that those spots were the gold leaf. This sold for $17.99 plus shipping. This last sale was my only sale on Mercari this week, and it was the Sac dark brown basket weave crossbody purse, and it sold for $16. I had to pay shipping on this, and that is an error on my part. I'll talk about that in a second. I made $8.65 from that. This listing actually prompted me to go back through all of my Mercari listings and make sure that I had the correct shipping on them. I did find a couple more of my listings that I wanted to edit. That was my income for the week of November 16th to the 22nd. Thanks for coming along with this. So next up in our little 5 steps of reselling splish is shipping. So the few items that I had still here today that needed to be packaged up, I did do a quick demonstration of how I wrapped those up. Because so many of them were breakable, I felt it was a good time to go ahead and talk about how to properly wrap glass and ceramics when you're shipping. When you bring an item home, even before you list it, make sure you have the right shipping materials to send it out once it sells. For myself, I even posted on my Facebook page asking friends and family that are nearby if they would save packaging for me, and boy did they. They were very, very kind. So they filled my porch with boxes, bubble wrap, air pillows, peanuts, and just anything you could imagine for packaging. Let's get into that.
First up, we have this set of 4 ceramic tea bag trays. Those are first getting wrapped in layers of styrofoam to keep them from tapping up against each other. The next layer is going to be the small bubble wrap, and that's going all the way around. After that, they're going to be wrapped in the larger bubbles. I'm fitting it now to see if I need any void fill, and I do. So crumpled up paper on the bottom, package in the middle, and then more crumpled paper on top. That way the whole box is filled and it's not going to move around while it's inside there. eBay tape so that when they see the box they know where this order came from. I'm going to weigh it, write the weight and the item name on the box. Up next is this polar teddy bear, and it is going in a plastic bag that is going to be sealed. That way, in case the outer bag gets ripped, there's less chance of getting wet or damage. And then it's just going to ship in a poly bag. Again, with the weight written on there with the item name. This last one I want to show you, I'm using a recycled box from an Amazon order. So I am going to cover that up with the eBay tape. This vase is getting 2 layers of small bubbles. I'm reusing some bubble bags that I had that were given to me. And then the big bubbles will go around on top of that. And some styrofoam on the inside.
All right, thank you for joining me today on this 5 steps of reselling journey. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments down below. I do appreciate you stopping by, and until next time, take care.